Okay, number 33. Find the area of an equilateral triangle. So all sides, all angles are equal, and the apothem is 5. So to find the area of a triangle, you can use area of a triangle is 1/2 base times height, or you can do area of a triangle is 1/2 BC sine of A, or you can do the area of the triangle is 1/2 AP. We can use 1/2 AP because it's a regular polygon. So I'm actually going to use that. So I'm going to use, I know the apothem's 5, and so I have area of a triangle is, or area of a regular polygon is 1/2 times 5. Now I have to find the perimeter, the distance around. So this side's 5. This is actually 30, 60, 90. So the short side's 5. This side's 5 root 3. So the whole side right here is 10 root 3. And there's 3 of them, so it's going to be 1/2 times 5 times 30 root 3. And I can reduce that. 30 divided by 2 is 15. 15 times 5 is 75. So the answer is 75 root 3 centimeters squared. And then 34. Find each variable below. So use your knowledge about inscribed angles. So if I know like this whole part is an inscribed angle to a diameter, so these two have to add up to 90. So angle D needs to be 39. And this angle right here, 51 degrees, is an inscribed angle to this arc. So this means that this is twice. So this is 102. And B is the central angle. So B has to be 102. And C and B have to add up to 180. So C has to be 78. And this one has to be, this measure of the arc has to be 78 because these two add up to 180. But I didn't really need that. Let me see. And we still gotta find A. So A is this inscribed angle. So A matches up to this arc of 102. So A is half of it, so A has to be 51 degrees. So now that's all of them. Okay, what will the ordered pair be, -3, 6, after it's been reflected over y equals x? So if you reflect over y equals x, if this is x and this is y, they just flip-flop. X is y and y is x. If you reflect something over the x-axis, if it was -3, 6 right here, this is the x-axis, it's going to just drop down to still be -3, but then it's going to be -6. So on the x-axis, the x stays the same and the y is opposite. So on the y-axis, the x is opposite and the y stays the same. If you translate by a vector -2 and 3, it means that you're going to subtract 2 in the x and add 3 to 6 in the y. And to dilate by a scale factor of 2.3 means multiply -3 times 2.3, and then multiply 6 times 2.3. And still write it as a vector. Still write it as an ordered pair. So find the area of the trapezoid below. So area of a trapezoid is 1/2 the height times B1 plus B2. So the height is in between the two bases. So it's going to be 1/2 of 12 times the bases that are parallel. 9 plus 14. And keep going and make sure you answer centimeters squared. Okay, 37. Find the area of a regular hexagon. So all sides, all angles are congruent with a side length of 12 centimeters. So a regular figure, you're going to use area equals 1/2 the apothem times perimeter. So area equals 1/2 the apothem. We don't have the apothem. But we do know that the perimeter is equal to 12 times 6. Because there's 12, this is 12 long and there's 6 of them. So the perimeter is 76 or 72 centimeters squared. So the apothem, what you're going to do is draw in, this is a 30-degree angle, this side is 6, so this has to be 6√3. So the area is 1/2 times 6√3 times 72. And then 38, a sphere has a volume of 288 pi. Find the surface area. So you do 288 pi equals the volume formula, which is 4/3 pi r cubed. Then you need to solve for r. So the pi's cancel out, and you're going to multiply both sides by 3/4. So you get 216 equals r cubed. Then you take the cube root of it. So r equals 6 feet. But the question is find the surface area. So surface area of a sphere is 4 pi r squared. So 4 pi times 6 squared equals 144 pi feet squared. So make sure you're plugging it in for the volume formula first. Solve for r, take the cube root. Don't just do, make sure you know how to do the cube root on your calculator. And then plug this back in. Okay, a student walks home first by walking 2 blocks east and 3 blocks north to stop at a friend's house. After stopping at a friend's house, he walks 4 blocks west and 1 block north to get home. Draw a sketch of the situation below and show how you can get the end destination by adding vectors. So, to add vectors, we need to write 2 blocks east and 3 blocks north as a vector. So 2 blocks east would be +2, 3 blocks north would be +3. So we're going to go, it'd be easier if I had graph paper too. You're going to go right 2, up 3. That's 2, 3. After stopping at a friend's house, he walks 4 blocks west and 1 block north. So from here, he goes 4 blocks west and 1 block north. Draw a sketch of the situation below. So I drew it so far, and show how you can get the end destination by adding vectors. So if you add 2 vectors, you add 2 and -4 is -2, 3 and 1 is 4. So the resultant is going to be a vector at -2, 4, and that's the spot right here. So you want to draw the 2 initial vectors, and then you want to draw the resultant vector, and they should connect. Okay, number 40, the volume of a cylinder is 40 pi. So the volume of a cylinder is the volume of a prism formula. But in a cylinder, the area of the base is pi r squared. So I would look at this formula. So if the volume is 40 pi. And the height is 10. What's the radius? So you can cross off the pi from each side and divide each side by 10 to get 4 equals r squared. Take the square root, so r equals 2 units.